Hello everybody, my name is BKRose9, giving you another WWPL Season 1 matchup. This time we are in Week 2 versus Waffles the Asian Bear and the Shiga Shinx. So, his team is comprised of Tapu Koko, Skarmory, Jellicent, Tangela, Regice, Miltank, Goodra, Mew, Gligar, Hitmonlee, and Incineroar. So, a very, very powerful team. Very defensive as well, might I add. They're more, they're kind of a mix of special and physical defense, but definitely carries through with physical attack. Their speed's pretty good actually. Some bumps in the road, but other than that, a really great team. Decent synergy, but with that being said, here's our team. We have Victini with V-Crate, Thunder, Blue Flare, and Focus Blast. So a bit of a mixed scarf. Well, mini mix, I guess. Anyways, so the set is interesting. I'm running mild this week. Does a whole bunch of Tangela and Regice. As well as just power throughs Skarmory, and a little bit through Jellicent too. So, we are running 112 EVs on speed to outspeed a timid Tapu Koko. Got we just put the rest on attack just to try to do enough through to Regice with a V-Create. I believe we do a lot to Mew as well, if it's not defensive. As well as just do a whole bunch to Tapu Koko. As well, we have Absolute, the Mega Absol running knockoff Ice Beam, Play Rough, and Superpower. Again, Ice Beam is just for Gligar, and maybe even Goodra, but we have Play Rough, so yeah. Knockoff, mainly we can knock off any item. If Koko is like a scarf set, if we get a good knockoff on it, we can pretty much kill it. Or not, I'm sorry, not kill it. We can kill out its momentum. It's really good against Jellicent. Play Rough definitely for the Goodra, Superpower for Miltank and Regice. As well as for Incineroar. As I calced, it does about 75 if max roll. And so basically a 2-shot on a lot of things. I believe it's like a 3-shot on Regice, but I can't confirm that. So next up we have Kurumi Tojo, the Leavanny, running Focus Sash Swarm this week because I know Mew's going to be carrying something probably like Flamethrower or whatever. Anyways, running Leaf Blade, Knockoff, X Scissor, and Sticky Webs. If we get webs up, Victini can probably sweep. X Scissor. For the Mew, we've got Leaf Blade just to do some good damage to some mons. Great for the Jellicent as well. And then again, Knockoff, just in case we see some Scarfers. We're running no speed, just because no speed against a Jellicent or Tangela. If they are -1, we outspeed. So, because I feel like Jellicent is a check-in for just trying to burn Leavanny. Anyways, next up we have Zirconis, running Rosalie Berry. This team is kind of scared of Tapu Koko, so I kind of ran it against a Tapu Koko. So, we've got Rosalie Berry, her Dazzling Gleam, D-Dance, 1000 Arrows, Superpower, and Crunch. His team's pretty weak to Crunch. Seeing Mew and Jellicent there, because Mew's pretty much a threat as well. It really is. Anyways, so got superpower for, again, Miltank, Regice. I believe it one-shots Goodra. Not 100% sure. Does one-shot Incineroar if not running any investment. And then 1,000 arrows. Or, I'm sorry, actually, no. Superpower doesn't one-shot, my bad. Neither does 1,000 arrows, sadly. So, if we get a couple D-Dances, we can be sure that Zirconis sweeps here. As well, the one thing we do have to worry about if he does bring Incineroar is Intimidate switches. Because if that happens, then we're going to need to switch out Zirconis every once in a while. We also have Big Mac here, our Life Orb Defiant Big Mac running close combat, Thunder Punch, Gunk Shot, Ice Beam. Gunk Shot, main reason, Koko, if we somehow live a Thunderbolt. Skarmory does not want to take an Thunder Punch from this thing. Neither does Jellicent. Ice Punch or Gunk Shot for the Tangela. Regice can't take close combat. Miltank cannot take close combat. Well, if it's not bold, then yeah, it can't take close combat. Goodra cannot take close combat. Mew is probably the only thing that checks this thing. Ice Punch for the Gligar. Hitmonlee does not take a close combat, I believe. And then Incineroar just doesn't want to take close combat. So this thing can pretty much just knock out the big threats of his team, depending on the situation. And finally, we have our Calm Nature Juvia, my bad. The Blastoise running Leftovers, Turret with Scald, Ice Beam, Toxic, and Rapid Spin. Rapid Spin mainly for the chance that he wants to set up in Whirlwind with Skarmory. He did that last week. Getting Toxic off on Mew, Miltank, or Goodra is fine. Mew, I don't really mind because I could use this thing as a sack off anyways. Ice Beam for Gligar, Goodra. It's got a decent weakness to ice. And so, we're also running Scald just to try to get burns on anything that's physical. So, like, getting it on Miltank would be fine. Getting on Hitmonlee would be fine. And if he somehow runs physical Koko, we do have a chance to take one. So, if we do somehow live and we get the Scald burn, that's perfect. Or on a switch in, either or. So, anyways, with that being said, let's get on to the matchup. So, he brought Koko. He didn't bring Tangela, but instead brought Regice, which, honestly, it was an either or type of situation. But didn't bring Miltank either. He brought Goodra. So, I mean, I guess that is fine. He brought Mew, brought Gligar, and brought Incineroar like I thought. So, a good 4 for 6. That's fine. Anyways, so I don't see a way that he can defog besides either having defog on Mew or having it on Gligar. And so I just decided to just get my webs up. So he is a Calm Mind. Koko. I go for the Leaf Blade, hope for a crit, no crit. So it does half, which leads me to believe he didn't have any investment. I go for the V-Create, now he knows that I am Scarf. And V-Create kills the big threat. And so, here comes the Incineroar. A few notes while I was looking at his prep after the game. He thought I was fully physical. On Juvia and on Blastoise. That was like physically defensive on Blastoise and physical on the Victini. So in comes a Gligar. I go for the Ice Punch. He was careful nature for I believe it was for special HP Ice Jolteon. Anyways, he goes for the Ice Punch, which leads me to believe that I'm going slower. That makes me believe that he is a weird set, because I didn't understand why he was running Ice Punch Mew. But he goes for the Power Whip, leading me to believe that he's now full on physical Goodra, which now to believe is him having he's either banded, but now I know he's definitely Sap Sipper. So player of kills, he expected SD, interesting. I go into Zirconis here. Drain Punch does legit nothing, which kind of confuses me. He goes for the U-turn, I'm sorry. And I believe I went for another dance, correct? Oh no, he U-turned after, my bad. I go for the superpower. I kill the Regice. I go for the crunch, it does half. I allow him just to... Oh, here's the play that kind of decided it all. So, I went for the crunch. He predicted me to go into Victini, and he Earthquakes. Earthquake does not kill. That allows me to get another... Oh, I'm sorry. He switches into his Incineroar. As I just go for the crunch. And this is pretty much where the game wraps up. I just get damage on this Incineroar. He goes for the Darkest Lariat. And then I just go into my beautiful Absolute here. He goes into Mew. I go for the superpower. Protect him just to stay in. I then go for the knockoff. He reveals Choice Band, which is pretty sweet. And then he goes back into Incineroar. And a -2 does not take a superpower from Mega Absol. And that is the game. A 3-0 victory for the Falliver Town of Fennekins. Now, a quick thing I want to mention here is that him switching with the Incineroar thing could have potentially done good, depending on if I misplayed. Another thing is that Scarf Victini, again, worked out in my favor. The Earthquake with, I feel like that was a big decision-making play. Because if he would have killed, Zirconis there, I could have just went into Victini. So it could have decided the match. It could not have. But anyways, thank you, Waffles. I will be linking his Twitch down below. Possibly. I forget if he still uses Twitch. And that is the game. So I don't remember who we play week 3. Sorry, I do know. We play Coach Spectral, and the one thing I don't know is his team name. But it looks to be a great matchup. As we try to go 3-0 here in the WWPL. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, because your support really matters to this channel. In hopes to at least hit 100 before the end of the year. Pretty unlikely, but you never know. So, with that being said, thank you all for watching, and until next time, peace out, Mikuins.